mentorship initiative of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. We are enshrined in the constitution of this institution. We have a bylaw guiding us. So please don't let anyone, belittle what you have. Don't let anyone scare you that, oh no, you don't have capacity to do whatever you are doing. You have the constitutional right to establish Young Estate Surveyors and Valuers Forum all over the branches we have. All right, the initiative was better to close the intellectual gap between the experienced and the new upward mobile professionals through direct hands-on as well as practical engagement. The forum is to ensure that young professional members develop the highest and best international standards as they grow in the specialized fields of the real estate practice as carried out by estate surveyors and valuers all over the world. All right, our aim is to sustain our noble profession while adapting to changes with times and technologies. I'll try not to be too fast so that we can all grasp what I'm saying here. We want to sustain our profession while adapting to changes. And the vision is developing sustainable capacity and empowerment of young members of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers for opportunities both in the present and in the future. And the mission is to provide professional and educational events by engaging existing young members to form and nurture valuable connections early in their careers while increasing the recognition of our institution among other professional bodies. And these are our objectives: encouraging peer review and growth for the betterment of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, organizing trainings, YESV forum and symposium, especially during the national programs, which is what we are doing here, and professional field trips, participating actively in the national conferences, MCPDs, and other national programs, sensitizing members periodically about new developments in the real estate sector, encouraging young estate surveyor and valuers to attend branch meetings, because all what we are doing, we are still attached to the apron spring of our branch chairman. Support the growth and advancement of members through grants, scholarships are sponsored by the NIESV Foundation. All right, so those are our tenets, those are our objectives. And for this, I remember last year when we did the first PropTech demo session. How many of us were part of that? PropTech session? Okay, thank you, just a few. We actually planned on making it an annual event. By God's grace, we should have another one next year. But this one we said, okay, enough of talking, enough of, we talking and speaking at our members. We want to hear from you. Between last conference and this year, what were the challenges we faced as young estate surveyors and valuers? Now, professionally, in your practice, whether you had one issue or the other, I want us to brainstorm, and let's start from the challenges before we now move to solutions and way forward. Does anyone have anything to say? Please don't be scared of the mic. I can drop the mic so that, you know, we'll have that courage for us to speak. What were the challenges you faced? Yes, sir. Please, can we have a second mic?
So, thank you. I want to stand on the already established protocol. All right. My name is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Shola Olukunle from Oyo branch. So, as we are being free-spirited and not fearing, backlash and all of that, I felt as young estate surveyors and valuers, there are some government jobs that comes naturally from our states. And there are some people that are big in the profession. They also started like us, so we have to give them their credit, okay? But to some degree, things like this, they should also carry people like us along, so that in the future, when they are gone, uh, the quality of what we're supposed to be producing, we will also have risen to some level at that time. We will not be limited to what they have been given. So I want to believe we should find a way to appeal to our elders. Then there is one thing about banks, giving some people this kind of job, and they collect some amount of money to renew this and that people like us may not have the opportunity, I mean the financial muscle now. So we have to look into a way like that, so that we can also be responsible in things that are expected of us as young surveyors.
All right. Before we proceed, thank you very much for those two major points that you've raised. Can I implore SS Surveyor and Valuer George, please, can you move forward? I want you to please help us take note of what we are saying here, so that they don't get missing on transit. And can I crave the indulgence of SS Surveyor and Valuer Dr. Bangbola to please move forward, because some of these questions we want our senior colleagues to also help us out in this session. So he has raised issues about, tapping experience from the older ones. Just to rephrase, so tapping experience from the older ones, and also the opportunity for us to be registered with banks and get job opportunities from them. From my own point of view, number one question I would like to ask is, how many of us have mentors, senior colleagues that are mentoring us? How many of us have mentors? Please, I want us to raise our hands. Awesome. Okay. Thank you very much, because that's one of the reasons why this YESV was created, if you remember when I mentioned it. Now, if you're attached to a mentor and that mentor gets this kind of jobs, I believe such mentor, if you do what is meant, because mentoring is a two-way process. The mentor comes to you, and you as a mentee, you should know how to get things out of your mentor. If that process is done properly, I believe your mentor should, in a normal situation, should bring you along and hold your hand, in a normal situation. And maybe we should employ most of our senior colleagues, because gradually we also are growing to become senior colleagues, senior estate surveyors and valuers, and we should also have this mindset that we need to handhold the younger ones, those coming probationers. How many of you have probationers that you mentor? All right. So please, I'll give the mic to our second vice and then our fellow that is here. Then the other one regarding jobs. I know it could be quite expensive, but I have an idea of some companies, young professionals that came together as a consortium, for them to be able to handle most of these corporate governance issues, registration with pension, with PENCOM, registration with NSITF, getting their tax clearance, and so on and so forth, for you to be able to apply to some of these banks and multinationals and get jobs from them. You will be shocked at the number of younger, I hope maybe I should off the mic. Yes, AMCON at the moment is looking for young estate surveyors and valuers to be registered with them. But you need all these necessary documents. And if you feel you won't be able to handle that, you can partner with some of your friends and ensure that you are registered with PENCOM, NSITF, and other ITF. You are doing group life insurance, just to be able to position yourself rightly for jobs. I can tell you that in my company, yes, you might feel that, oh yes, the company is old. It was just of recent we started all this corporate governance. Yes, we've not gotten any government job like that, but it has positioned us properly for jobs with multinational, and so there are opportunities available and we can be registered. And the other thing is that some of us, we try not to venture. How many of you have written to all the 25 banks we have in Nigeria to say, register me as a valuer? When last did you write? Severally, and they don't respond most times. That's the response I'm getting. Severally, and most times they don't respond. But have you tried some of these new banks? Lotus, Jais, Globus banks. Have you tried? We need to keep trying. I know, yes, our senior colleagues need to handhold us, but we also need to try to, toughen ourselves and then go out and ensure. Yes, my second vice. Where's the mic? You have a comment on this, sir? Okay, please give him the mic before my second vice talks. Yes, the man in orange.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Please introduce yourself. Let's know
Yes,
your name.
I'm good. Yes, so my name is YESV Franklin Obidibo from Lagos branch.
Lagos branch.
And first off, I want to thank you or the organizers of this youth forum of the organization. But one thing I've noticed is that we concentrate so much on only those that are actually practicing the profession. We don't extend the hand of fellowship or partnership to some of our colleagues who are in other fields of engagement. All right? Like myself, I work in a financial organization, and I'm a registered SA surveyor in Balowa, and also an associate member. There is no handshake. I know a lot of my colleagues who are in other fields like banking, insurance, fintech, and the likes. And we are all on our own. There is no platform that is there, either at this level or on the higher level, to bring us all in. Okay? And so I want us to look at this from this angle, because we all want to be involved, because I didn't even know about this. You understand? Then second, what some of us mentioned, one of our colleagues here mentioned the issue of the bigger ones taking all the jobs. For me, it's all about innovation, because some of us have refused to be innovative. I sit in my office, I read reports from SA surveyors and valuers if I'm doing reviews, and I don't see data, I don't see content, okay? And you see, if you look at reports from our counterparties, maybe some valuers in South Africa, you see data-driven reports. But we just do the preamble, we go straight and we throw out values. Sometimes we even call the valuers to say, how did you arrive at these values? There is no proven market data. So please, let's try to be very innovative in our reporting and the likes. Then, lastly, I want us to also start practicing the issue of smart homes. Some of us who are into project management or property development, the world is evolving. Our phones have all changed. We can do things smartly. So is our, living. The smart homes is a gold mine in the industry now. Thank you very so much for having me.
Please, your name again?
YESV Franklin Obidibo.
Franklin
Obidibo.
Please,
yes,
I would like to have a conversation with you afterwards.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah.
All right. Because I need you to be very active in Lagos branch also. Since you are from Lagos. All right. Please, the mic to SA Surveyor and Valuer Johnson. Thank you for those comments. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Do you want to comment on the question about the senior colleagues not handholding the younger ones, and then, job opportunities for younger ones?
Okay. I'm tempted to say praise the Lord. Because I didn't know whether I would be speaking in church or at this forum. But noble colleagues, my second vice president, noble colleagues, the reason why we call ourselves noble colleagues is because this is a noble profession. And It is because we used to, from what I learned in the past, we used to, get connected with the people who are the movers and shakers in the industry, in the business world, and in public service, right from the onset. We held the land ministry in the public service, not just as directors. Director then was as powerful as a PAMSEC, in some cases as ministers, because they were even using commissioners then, But I think because of relaxation, we lost some of that. But going back to the question, really, I'll give a little scenario. I'm chatting with someone now. He called me when I got here. We just had a transaction when he was working with with a senior colleague. So he got a job, one job. It was a major project. He left the company, and after leaving the company, the major project did not work as major again. It was not paying what it should pay. Got clogged down in political issues. Another government came in, and at the end of the day, he's calling me now and said that, look, my family needs to survive. I think that's the story of quite a number of people, and we have to change that. If you want someone to lead you, you have to hold on to that person to lead you. Don't just jump ship without knowing where you're going to. When I was going to start a firm, my mentor told me that list 20 people that you are going to be able to work with. And my mentor is not the person I was working with. Or he was not the person I was working with then. Said 20 clients that you can talk to yourself. I will tell you that I've not exhausted the 20 clients. Out of the 20, 15 did not do any job with me. Only 5 actually did jobs with me. I want to give an example of our second vice and his mentee here. They've been together for some time. So you will actually need to take that lesson. It may be hard. There's a language in Yoruba, a proverb in Yoruba, it says that Adani Luro Fagbara Koni. It means the person that seems to be punishing you is actually strengthening you, making you to be better. It's not all rosy every time. So you have to be patient to learn. Remember when we went to school? We did not just pass through school. Some people have stories of one lecturer or the other that you felt was just difficult for you. So there will be difficulties when you are learning, when you are being mentored, when you are holding on to a particular, but you must learn all you need to learn. And the global world out there is more difficult. So you require collaboration, which is one of the reasons why we started YESV. I may be very good in valuation. I can execute. But if I'm not a good social networker, I may not get valuation jobs. So you need the two. I may be very good in property management, but if I'm not good in social networking, I may run into trouble. I will get 2 houses to manage. And somebody who does not do so much in terms of sitting down and following all the process will start getting the jobs. Yeah. Most of the agents we compete with out there is because they are good social networkers. Okay. And even for established firms, these days, people are even collaborating. Yeah. So it's not that they are taking jobs away from you. It's because they built capacity with that. I have a firm that has been existing for 5 years, 15 years, been working for 15 years. The job that another firm like Osas and Oseji has, that they have about 4 or 5 branches all over, the jobs that they get, I may not be able to get it. But you also have to be creative. I think someone said something about being creative.
Creativity, yes.
When I started, I did not, when we were about 5 years, I did not say that the firm is 5 years old. I looked at the people working with me. How many years have you worked? My partner, how many years has she worked? So we now wrote that I'm trying to package a lot of things in what I'm saying because I don't know if I will have the opportunity again. So we now wrote that the firm has an experience of 60 years. Now, that 60 years is not talking about me alone. I'm just using 60 years. I think it was about 20 years. It's not talking about me alone. But our proposal was not talking about the number of years of experience of everybody added together. And that was one of the things that helped us to get the major jobs we started getting. But if we have not followed that route, some other people will have just pushed us aside because they're asking for people that have more experience than us. Yeah. So how do we bring in that? Another thing I want to quickly say, please permit me.
Yes, sir.
When government asks for jobs, for you to submit those regulatory documents, compliance document, corporate governance document, it's because government is looking for someone they can trust. So if you're a young surveyor and you come out, it's either you have the money to get all those things. They will ask for 3 years audited report. You just came out last year to start a firm. You don't have 3 years audited report. It's either you are falsifying it and it will be at variance with your years of registration. So you have to wait that period. Yeah. And you have to be sure that you are doing compliance things to meet up. You have to pay pension for 5 people. You have to do ITF. By the time you look at all of that, the first time I did it, I spent over ₦1 million to do it. Our firm spent over ₦1 million to do it. Because of running around, looking at everything. So, you have to take it little by little. Start in the private sector, build your capacity, go to the public sector, and be able to meet up with compliance. I think that should be enough.
Thank you so much, sir. Because I want to get more comments on this. So one thing I will take home from there is that you can redesign your profile, your company profile, to show that add some of the years of experience of each one of you in that company. That will now help you, look presentable. You are not lying. You have 5 years, you have 10 years, you have 15 years. You can say it's a 40 years experienced firm. And they will look at that and say, okay, yes. And being part of YESV, that's another thing. I know there are some people that can testify. I've gotten jobs all over the length and breadth of Nigeria, and I will call a young estate surveyor and valuer that, oh, you are there, please help me with this job. You send the report to me, and I submit. So you have the network here that you can play with and say, I have access, I have link in the length and breadth in the 36 states and even FCT of this nation. Nobody will say, oh, yeah, show me your location. If they say you show me your location, you will call your friend in Anambra, you will call your friend in Edo. So, and that's one of the essence of having this forum here, that you are networking with people from different states. Yes, my second vice, please. That one question, we can flog it for another 1 hour.
Yes. My distinguished noble colleagues, let me add to what our former Lagos branch chair just said. You see, not that the seniors are taking over the jobs. No. But how did we position ourselves? How did we position ourselves? Let me ask one question now. How many of us are ready to undergo tutelage as of today for 10 years? How many of us? For 12 years.
Someone did for 12 years. How many years?
14
years.
You?
18 years.
You?
Wonderful.
All right. I did tutelage for 20 years. Me standing here. Officially on paper, 20 years. Unofficially is about 20-something years. And during that tutelage, that you are 10, 15, how did you build your own capacity? Did you build your capacity? That is what is happening. If you have the patience to do the tutelage, you graduated. The profession is so dynamic, so elastic. there is no year or no any amount of time that you will not come across one thing or the other. I remember in my own firm where I did that tutelage, it was as we were moving on that we were now departmentalizing the firm. Valuation different, management different, property development, agency, do you understand? So all that. And that gives us the opportunity of crossing from one aspect of the profession to another. But let me be very frank, let me be very honest with us. None of us today, we the younger ones, are ready to stay under somebody to learn the job for even 5 years to come. And you know one thing, for that 20 years I stay, I never got elected. Hassan, I think until in my 15th or 16th or 17th year in that firm. And I never take any placard. I remember that one of the sympathy I got when I went to body interview, Chief Ozili is here. He was the vice chairman then. He asked me, where were you working? I tell him. He said, since when? And I told him the years. In fact, from him to all other panel members, we were busy calculating. 15 years, 16 years, 17 years. It's difficult for us to get anybody that will spend this year without getting elected. From that, I know that yes, I've won the sympathy of. And throughout this year, my firm did not send me to school. Did not send me to any Harvard for training. But I was building my capacity. So, how many of us
sorry for cutting you,
are
my
ready?
second vice.
Yes?
Can you help us out? How were you building the capacity, sir?
Good. Is positioning myself in the firm. When critical jobs come, I partake. Many of us today will claim the office is exploiting us. The office is exploiting us. And again, it's a private firm. It's a government. If it is a government parastatal, that's when, okay, workshops come, they pay for you. It's a private firm. I remember the year I was to start sitting for professional exams. 3 days to month ending. That's when we are coming to Lagos. And all of us wrote for salary advance. They pay us on table every 30 or 31st. And that day it was around 26 or 27. We have to start coming to. And we wrote memo. Pay us so that when month end you deduct. The office said no. That is not yet month ending. And we left it. We came down to Lagos to write the exam. That doesn't remove anything from us. But then we look at it that, okay, yes, it's another way of training. Because when we came back, our chairman jokingly was saying, are you saving? How much are you saving? That you must imbibe the culture of saving. And what he now said was that if we have said, okay, we have this, we are applying for this as from our salary to add or to, he would have approved it. And we look at it that there's a sense in that. So, you got to build your own this thing. Then again, how many of us, as at now, the younger ones, are ready to collaborate or are collaborating? How many of us are interfacing with anybody in Maiduguri, anybody in Yobe, for those of us who are in Lagos, or anybody in Port Harcourt or Akwa Ibom? For those of us up north, how many of us have friends whom we share notes with? So, we must begin to do that so that at the end of the day we are coming out to set up our own firm, we already have that market data or market base or that collaboration. A tree does not make a forest. Do you understand? Then again, somebody spoke on not having a platform for youth. This youth thing, even before it came out, Dotun Bamigola, as far back as in the late 90s to early 20s, we sit down and talk on these things. Some of us join night bus from Kaduna to attend meeting in Lagos. And when we come to Lagos, we don't just go, we move around. And that's how we're able to know ourselves, all of us, like this. And we share notes. How many of us today, we the youth, are doing? It's an issue of nobody solve your problem. You have to identify your problem. Identify is half solved. Now, for that man who said that no platform for us, for the younger ones, I want that person to go back to his letter of his letter which the institution gave him as an associate, letter of membership. Go back and read that letter, second paragraph or third paragraph. You will see where they wrote, you belong to this branch. How many times do you attend the branch meeting? How many times do you associate yourself with the branch? Please, we should ask ourselves. We the seniors or we the people running the branch and national, if you don't come out, we can't see you. You will be the one to come out. But most of us, as soon as we get elected, finish, we forget. The branch chairman does not know where you are until you come out. Until you come out. So please and please, we too, we should change our attitudes. We should begin to see ourselves as forerunners. We should begin to see how do we build ourselves. John, stand up. Hassan, stand up. Arashi, 3. John will drive from Lokoja to Bauchi. From Lokoja to Bauchi. If there is anything going on around that area and he connects with us, there he is. Even before he becomes an associate. The firm where he works, the Oga travels a lot. America, London, where and where. He is the Alpha and Omega. And that tutelage he has undergone, that collaboration he has with everybody around. Today he has his firm. And he is doing well. And I think you are the publicity secretary of your branch, right? Arashi, same thing. He practiced in Kwara. Hassan has been with me right from tutelage, right from IT. And he's not the only one. There are about 6 or 7, about 8, 9, 10 of them. But then seeing that, sit down. Let me tell you one thing. Seeing that they are ready to learn. I never waited like my own self until after 15th year or 17th year for me to get elected. No, all of them are licensed and elected under me. There are what? 9, 10 of them. Kaduna, Sokoto, Maiduguri. Today, in my sojourn in the institution, political work, they run the office without me. They run the office. Anything I can do, they can do it better. But if you didn't stay, how do you learn? That's the issue. We say that, okay, yes, time waits for nobody. Yeah, time waits for nobody. Time, too, requires due diligence. Due diligence. Sometimes with the seniors, we look at our younger estates of yours, come and do this. It's difficult for you to do. Yeah, time waits for nobody. The banks you mentioned, bank today never come to tell you, go and value this property and give us a report next week. No, it's when they need it by tomorrow. Tomorrow by 8 o'clock, they come today by 6 o'clock, they called you. And that job needs to be done and to be submitted by 8 o'clock. I am here in Edo. By share of this thing, they got in touch with me. And I called you, you are in Kaduna, you are not there in the office. What happened? So, those are the things. But then again, the youth forum is being established or formed so that all these kind of issues can be trashed. Then we that are here will equally extend whatever thing we have discussed to our friends that are not around. And again, is a forum where, yes, information will be disseminated. Any problem you have, it will get to us, we the leaders. If you have a firm today, there's nothing stop you. And that's why for the past 5 years back, Dotun, the institution in collaboration with the board has agreed for us to use pseudonym in practice, where 2, 3, 4, 5 of us can join and form a practice, which we can pursue all those bigger jobs that we are saying. Today you will find out that they are your mates or your contemporaries that are even in all these organizations that these jobs do come out. But you need to have the requisite document or,
Corporate governance.
Huh?
Corporate governance.
Corporate governance structure I have for you too. And you can build that, you can start that one today. The sky is always our starting point, or it's going to be our starting point, not limit. But we need to be patient, we need to build our capacity, we need to even know who are we, what do we want to do.
Okay.
Permission to stop here for a while.
Thank you, my second vice president. Thank you so much, sir. I know we've dealt with that a little. We'll still have more opportunities to. I know when our senior colleagues were talking, I was hearing side discussions here and there, but we'll pencil that down and for us to be able to discuss further on it. But when the second vice president was talking, I said a lot of people are not staying much longer in firms because the pay is not encouraging. Am I correct? Longer, those days they can still live with 5,000, 10,000 naira per month. But now, with the economy we are in, even 150,000 naira, is it enough? It's not adequate. It's not 150,000 naira. I hope you got that. They said 500,000 naira is not enough. But at least, just from my own point of view, I think we need, in the estate surveying practice, generally, I think we need to scale up the salary structures, the salary structure for our subordinates. If you are for me, say yay. If you are against me, say no. Aha, okay. So I'm hearing some senior, some heads of practice here saying I'm right and wrong. Okay, so do you want to jump on that? Okay, please, where's the microphone? Because I know most of us, we are one, so.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished noble colleagues. My second vice president, Estate Sovereign Valua, Malam Muhammad Baturi, our former Lagos State Chairman, Estate Sovereign Valua, Dotun Bamigbola, and our Prof, Professor Kimiki, FNIVS. I greet everyone. So, I just have one or two comments, but let me quickly start from your submission on salary increments.
Salary structure.
Salary structure, yes. So one of the biggest problems we face in firms right now is, and I'm going to be very blunt, I've been running my name is Estate Sovereign Valua, Ewinla Mustafa. So I run my firm in Lagos, and I've been running my firm for 8 years. I think this is the 9th year running. One of the biggest problems we face as head of practice is a lot of young estate surveyors and valuers want to work, but there's no drive. They want to work, but there's nothing driving them to want to put in a lot of effort. And they want a high-paying firm. The honest truth is that when I started my practice or my as a people surveyor back then, I started from IAA and Co. And my second vice president can attest to, I know that he used to come to our office at Olowu then to see ESC Victor IAA. Then I'm not even capping. I was one of the best performing staff then. And I was ready to work for free. I'm not even joking. I was hungry for knowledge. I was ready to work for free. How many firms, how many surveyors, young surveyors can have that mindset? I was ready to work for free because I just know that whatever I'm doing here is for a short time. Let me gain knowledge. And the end result is to start your firm, and all that knowledge will be useful for you. After I left IAA, I left for Dikpo Fakorede and Co. Then they used to call me one nickname in Fakorede. They called me the errand boy. It was a very funny nickname. And why they call me the errand boy is that any job that comes, Oga will ask, who wants to go for this job? I'll say, yes, I'll go, sir. Any job that comes, who wants to go? I'll say, I'll go, sir. It was because I saw it as an avenue to learn.
Commitment
then,
and passion.
there was a time, there was a valuation that came, valuation for quarry. I've never valued a quarry before, somewhere in Ibadan. I remember that I had to call the head of valuation in Jiretaiwo to say, Oga, I know you guys have experience in all kinds of valuation. I don't know the man. If I see that man today, I don't know him. So from Lagos to Ibadan, while I was on the road, I was on the phone with him. When I get there, what do I do? How do I start? Because how do you value stone? I've never done it before. But I did that job, and I did it successfully. So it's about the drive and the passion and where you see yourself in the next coming years. Forget about salary. Salary will not get you anywhere.
Recompensed with properly, after having that passion, commitment, and drive.
Yes.
Do you think you were repaid properly?
You mean working for those firms?
Well, either working for those firms or as a form of in return.
Okay. In return
for what you did.
Okay, so what I would say in terms of return, the return I can only say that I gained was the knowledge I got. In terms of monetary terms, I resigned from Dikpo Fakorede earning 35,000 naira about 8 years ago. And then I had
35,000 naira 8 years ago was still good money.
It was still good money, but trust me, at the end of every month, once they pay salary, I must have offset a lot of debt in the office. I borrow money home again to go home. So the salary does not even take you home. But so don't look at the money now. That's my advice. Don't look at the money you are paid now as an estate as a young estate surveyor you have ahead of you, and learn what you can learn. Before I go, I just have one more comment. More comment, and it's a very critical.
Hold on.
Sorry, yes.
I know we are touching. So
I know. So one very critical thing I must also talk about is about bank valuation, and it's very, very important. Sometime last year, I enlisted for an estate valuer in Sterling Bank. That's a lesson I learned. I think it's enough. Is the best time we stop copy and paste proposals. Copy and paste proposals will not get you enlisted into any bank. As usual, we did our copy and paste proposal, and it was rejected in Sterling Bank. So we discovered that Sterling Bank has certain criteria that they want in their proposal, you must have a fellow in your firm. We never knew that. You must have 5 branches in Nigeria. We never knew that. So sometimes you submit a proposal and you think that nobody's responding. They won't respond because you don't have what they want.
Correct.
You must have certain criteria, and you must also have so now to bust your bubble, they requested for a professional indemnity of 100 million, and to do that cost us 1 million naira. Till now, we did all the rituals, everything. Till now, no response. So those are the challenges we're facing as young SS officers. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I know there are a lot of hands. We, at this moment, we'll be calling the attention of the electoral committee if they are ready for us. So let us give numbers now. Let me recognize our incoming Honorary National Secretary, currently the Assistant Honorary National Secretary, Professor Rotimi Kemiki. We recognize you, sir. Yes, we'll give you the mic, but I want my colleagues to talk first so that we'll respond later. So where's Yinka? Ola Yinka, 1, 2, 3, 4. After those 4 comments, we'll close the discussion for today. Okay, my incoming, my vice chairman also has a comment. So that's 5. After those 5 comments, we'll close this discussion and take it virtually. Maybe next month, it will be just internal discussion among ourselves so that we can make necessary recommendations and the council members. Okay, so where's the mic? All right, please let me give Mr. SS Balola Inka.
Standing on the existing protocol.
Please, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Short and sharp.
Ogunwebela Inka is my name. I would like to direct my comment to a noble colleague that just dropped the mic. Because when he was talking, he said something about working for free.
Yeah.
So at under Ayeye.
In some firms, yes.
Okay. So I wouldn't mind if he can share with us practically how he survived.
He didn't work for free. He said he was ready to work for free, but he was still paid.
Okay, I thought
he still earned salary. He earned salary. Thank you very much. Number 2. Where's number 2? Yes, sir. Number 2 here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocol.
Don't worry, leave protocol. Your name.
My name is Esi Sofian Valua Diron Adeyemo from Oyo. I am not asking a question. I want to give 1 or 2 observations. I think we need an holistic approach. Yes, I understand this will be beyond the YESV. There is a way, if we look at all the aspects of all our functions, if we look at it, there's a way that we need to create a system that ensures that if YESV Odeleye conducts evaluation, and I do, and someone that trained in the same firm I trained conducts the same valuation, our values tends to be close to each other.
There are so many factors that can affect that. So we should work towards that.
So I am saying, in essence, is that we need to create a system.
Okay.
And like an holistic approach that ensures that whatever of our function goes through that system. Yes, we need to take advantage of technology. How we're going to do that, we have to sit back and discuss that extensively.
Okay.
We need a system, an approach that ensures that we value this our core area, the valuation. That young estate surveyors does not have to sit back on agency all the time. Even if you have trained with valuation, by the time you are alone after 10 years, after 15 years, you don't have the strength to get those jobs. So you have to sit back with agents. You have to struggle with the agents on the street. Yes, struggling with the agents might not be a big deal. But if we have an approach that creates job, that creates some of, especially valuation. I was involved in letter of administration.
Okay.
You won't believe it that they carry out the letter of administration, they process it without valuation.
In your state branch?
Not just in your state branch. It happens almost several places. That you will see, they will claim they took a value added. It's most of them. There's a way our system is not enforcing it. That in places like in some ministries, they don't enforce some valuation. They just find a way around things. In the letter of administration, they find a way around things. But if we have a system that your certification page itself has run through a system that is only that property that can have that number, that we can have a way to get that through.
Awesome.
The presentation and the expectation will be different from what we have. And it will be difficult for a bank to say, I want to pay X naira to you for this kind of valuation.
Okay.
And at the same time, by the time we have that kind of system, you know the kind of job if it has to be that.
I understand. I know you have so many ideas on that. So let's take the conversation further after today. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. But going back to, I understand the aspect of us creating more jobs, especially in the area of valuation. But going back to, young estate surveyors and valuers sourcing for valuation jobs, we've talked about creativity here. And so I just want us to take those ones, the points we've raised there home, and the areas you've mentioned. I know your branch you are enjoying now. I think for any title perfection, you need evaluation report. Am I correct? In Lagos branch, we don't even have that. It's just a process. But in Lagos branch, we don't have that. Enforcement. Okay, so we'll come up, as young estate surveyors and valuers, we'll come up with procedures that we can present to the National Council and see how we can. Yes, I know we are running out of time. Yes, we have 2 more.
Thank you. Permit me to stand on the existing protocols. My name is YESV Samuel Omotayiwa from Abuja branch. Our second vice president mentioned so many things about tutelage. Now I want to ask from our seniors, if there is a platform where they pinpoint those that have gone through this tutelage, they have done their firm registration, and they are not doing well on their own. Now, what I'm trying to say is they have done their research. They know this person is actually doing his best. He has somebody who is training him or her, but yet is still crawling. You understand? The body should be able to have a platform where such individuals can be assisted.
Is there any idea any example that you can give regarding that? Like a welfare pause, a scholarship, a grant? What are you looking at?
Okay, I'm not talking about welfare now, helping the firm, the young estate surveyor. Like I said, so many people are here now. They are registered with NIESV and NIESV, but they've not done their firm registration. Now, one of the reasons for the firm registration is so that you can get government jobs. And we have mentioned so many criteria. You understand?
There are businesses that are thriving without government jobs.
I know. I know. But
sorry, I'm cutting you short, but I need us to go, so that we'll be able to, buy time and go to the. So I understand you that we need to help.
They are here. Let them at least.
Okay. I'll leave it to our senior colleagues to comment on that.
If there is any platform to
that can be
randomly
created.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. But, I want us to be systematic and strategic in whatever we are saying so that we'll be able to present a very, very strong point to our council members whenever we are doing that. So, yes, Precious.
Good afternoon, noble colleagues.
2 minutes, please.
My name is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Perry Precious from River State Branch. I want to chip in a little on what our colleague said earlier about motivation and all of that. We know motivation today is not enough to pay our bills. I've been fortunate to be, as a pupil surveyor, I've grown. I'm also a partner in my own firm. I've also been fortunate to have worked with firms that are willing to encourage
surveyors in the firm. I did my NYSC with Ubosele and co. We were giving housing allowances, we were giving transportation allowances, we were giving...
aside your salary?
Yes, aside my salary.
Okay.
We also, conferences were paid for, MCPDs and all of that. I would basically take away burden away from the staff. When other young persons I worked with too would go the long way to give you 25% or even 30% of whatsoever you bring into the firm aside your salary.
As a commission?
Yes, as a commission. It encourages young person. See, not every young person would want to leave a firm. But if a firm is good to me, I would want to stay. Make me a partner.
But there are sometimes firms are good to people and
because there is this drive for independence and all of that. But if you're good to me, I see the future, I see my future in your firm, I would want to stay.
Right.
When I and my partner wanted establishing our firm, we I won't say it's an oath, but we made a promise to heaven that whoever will pass through our firm, every dime needed for you to be an associate and become a member of the board, the firm will bear it.
What's the name of your firm? What's the name
Dapa
of your
Perry
firm?
and Associates.
Again, please.
Dapa Perry and Associates.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We will take a cue from that. My chairman, lastly now, my chairman, incoming, my vice chairman.
My chairman, the second vice president, the immediate past chairman of Lagos branch, my second past chairman of Lagos branch, not immediate, pardon me, the secretary incoming, a noble colleague, I stand on the existing protocol. I would like to chip in a comment based on what our colleague just raised earlier. My own comment is based on the synergy of the colleagues in other fields and the lack of innovations. So I will want us, the young estate surveyors and valuers, to hold on to these two key issues. It's not only about basis. We have to participate in all the programs. For us, we are privileged today to have these council members here and the past chairman of Lagos, because this is our own program. We are supposed to talk to ourselves, look at the way out, and bring in these issues that are bothering us in order to find solution to them. So it's not only about annual meeting or annual program. We are supposed to, as young estate surveyors and valuers, be participating in all our programs. The ones that are not registered with the young estate surveyors and valuers, please, we should do that. If we are registered already, we should be participating in all activities, because it has become a situation whereby you see only few are participating, only few are rubbing minds. We have intellectual people out there that we need their own contribution. Please, my comment is on this. Let's not leave it on a conference matter or annual basis. Let's participate. If you have any information, drop it there. If you have any contribution, drop it. Let's rub minds. Let's see how we'll take it further. Because the institution has brought this fora for us to assist them. So let's do our own part as the young estate surveyors and valuers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that, my able vice chairman. Yes, Professor Kemiki has a comment for us.
Thank you very much, the chairman, young people. It's my pleasure to be in your midst this afternoon. Kemiki Olurotimi is my name. I'm an estate surveyor and I'm proud to be one. We know that the future of this institution lies with the young people. And as management and as council members, we must make frantic efforts in ensuring that our policy are targeted toward ameliorating the suffering of our young people. We can't shy away that there are issues. There are issues, and those issues are not peculiar to our profession. Nigeria itself is sick. The economy is sick. I have a friend that works with a law firm, and her salary is just 50,000 naira. So it's not only estate firm. It's the product of the quantum or the quality of our economy. However, for immediate remedial measure, 4 things. 1, on the part of we young people, 2 things. Beyond our certificate, let's make effort to acquire skills. Skills will make you indispensable. Skills will make and increase your worth to your employer. Secondly, we should not be in haste to establish a firm because you strike a deal and you have 1.2 million naira. You rent an office of 800,000. How do you keep the office running? Let's be calming down. Things will be fine. Let's calm down. Go through the tutelage. Unfortunately, some young people doing industrial training don't go to estate firm. They go to bank and count money because they want to make money. They miss that single opportunity. And when they get to the estate firm, they are being treated as a trainee because they will be learning. And nobody wants to pay a trainee a very high sum of salary. So let's encourage our young people, acquire skill, acquire training, and be calming down. A time will come that it will be so obvious that you are ready to establish a firm. Secondly, on the part of we that we have firm, let us fear God. You have a staff that is working under you, and you have a big job, and you make 10 million naira, and say, my boy, thank you. I know, Haba. It's not fair. Have conscience. Ask him, you can say, okay, you are part of you led the job, take 2 million naira, buy him a car, let him be happy. I do that in my firm. Anytime we have
What's the name of your firm, sir?
Timike Miki Anko.
Thank you, sir.
I said to my staff, buy them car, buy them gift, make them happy. Thirdly, on the part of the institution, knowledge is powerful. We are currently building a very robust database. It will be ready in about 2 months' time. That database will be free to all members to access information that can assist you to deliver in your core mandate. It is our expectation, and I want to assure you, when we get to office on Saturday, it's going to be work and work and work to ensure that our young people have a future. We have suffered. We don't want to see young people suffering. Don't say, I have suffered, you must suffer. Why? I have already suffered, and I have seen poverty, excruciating poverty. I don't want you to see poverty. God bless you.
Thank you so much, our incoming Honorary National Secretary. My past chairman has a comment. Please, 1 minute, sir.
Thank you very much.
Because the electoral committee is ready for us,
again.
and we want to.
I'll maintain a season protocol. I think I like the statement made by Perry, because that's one of the things we do in our firm. I mean, last year, some people got bonuses. They got what we call professional incentive, which is a percentage of their income. The pay structure, I agree with you, has to change. Professor Kemiki has said that it should be like 20%, or what did you call it now? But
sir, that's just the commission, aside
yes.
the pay structure.
So there should be a pay structure, in my view. A pay structure that is, you have a take-home pay and you get a motivation for.
Minimum an estate surveyor and valuer should be 150K.
I've not said anything. I'll tell you the reason why I've not said anything about that. Because different firms have different capacities. So it should be based on the capacity of the firm. And so if you are coming in and you are getting somebody, if you want to get an estate surveyor and valuer, if you can't pay if you don't have a pay structure that can support the estate surveyor and valuer, then get a probationer. You can have a pay structure that will support the probationer.
Yes.
You understand? You can't get a chartered accountant and say that you pay the person the same way you want to pay a clerk. I mean, it won't work. But because of the kind, this is what is adopted in other climes. Because of the kind of business you do, you have to have an incentive. In some other climes, you don't even have any pay. It's your percentage you get when you work. And so you are not even tied down to the office, but you have a card for the office in some other climes. But that's not what we have here. There must be something that will make you survive. And that is good. Another thing that I think our second vice has mentioned is about, he said about development, but you have to start specializing as a person to develop yourself. But what is important, I think we should all take to the council or to the entire body, is that every firm should have a critical structure in terms of, okay, what is your career path? As a matter of fact, when we started with a career path. So you join us, your first 2 days is onboarding for you in the office, so you may not necessarily need to work, but you know how you can be a partner. The firms that are the biggest firms today and are surviving, they have that. Others don't know that secret. That's why we are not getting there yet. But if you are getting there, yes. If you know it, you start getting there. That is very important. And even at interview, you can ask, do you have a career path for me here? When am I going to be MD one day? People ask for that in the bank. If you join the bank today, you know that you have to get to manager, you get to assistant manager, deputy manager, before you start talking of assistant GM and the likes. But in most SC firms, it does not exist. But in all of it, I'll just leave it with 2 statements.
Thank you so much, sir.
Be growth, have a growth mentality and have a change mentality.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I have a senior colleague here. Before our second vice gives us the last comment.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I'll just spend 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Let me start by introducing myself. All protocols duly observed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My second vice, I recognize you. I am ESV Antonia Hideno, Abuja branch. I happen to be a senior civil servant. I work with the Nigeria Railway Properties Management Company. The headquarters happens to be in Kaduna. I want to say a little bit about civil service because we have surveyors that go into civil service. It's not just those of you that are in practice, that are young surveyors. Civil service is a different ball game when it comes to practice. Most of the concentration or talk I've been hearing has to do with private practice. I don't know, do we have civil servants here? You have civil servants here? Good. And it's good to see my young colleagues. So I'm going to talk to you directly since we're in the same boat. Normally, when you join the civil service on grade level 8, you are supposed to work, and by the time you get into grade level 12, you should be ever-born certified before you can be promoted beyond level 12. And if you have 10 years as an estate surveyor and valuer, ordinarily, you should have gotten your stamp and seal, ordinarily. So if you are in service right now and you are not ever-born certified, you can't go beyond level 12. And that is the way it's supposed to be under normal circumstances. Although the institution has not helped some of us because they don't push for that narrative. So you now have the system whereby people that don't have their stamp and seal, they can actually go beyond level 12 without being ever-born certified. It's wrong. I started...
Sorry, sir. I want to get that part, sir. Yes. So are you saying that the institution should bring it down?
No. They should maintain that standard.
Okay.
Because from level 12, you are deemed to be a senior civil servant.
Okay, sir.
Your experience at that stage is close to 8 to 10 years.
Okay, so you want the institution to help us
So
adhere
the institution,
to that
yes,
12.
will embed it so that this professionalism and registration with YESV
okay, sir,
can be seen as compulsory.
Okay.
So it should be adhered to.
Okay, sir.
When I started, I think I was the first copper that served with YESV as far back as 1996. I served with YESV. That gave me a good idea of what estate surveying and valuation was all about. And when I left, I went into private. I worked with a private firm, estate firms. Then 10 years down the line, I joined civil service with my stamp and seal at level 12.
Okay.
At level 12. So right now, I've gone way beyond that now. So the profession is good, but talking about people in private practice, I think there was a time the institution was trying to make it a bit attractive. We need to have core competence. You need to be good in something. Get 1 or 2 skills. You can't be jack of all trades. I'm a member of RICS. In the UK, their standard is that you cannot be practicing everything. If you're a valuer, you're a valuer on commercial properties. You are this. But in Nigeria, we do a lot.
General practice.
So please, let's focus on something that we are very good at. Make it your niche. Be competent with it. If it's arbitration, let it be your A competence. Your colleagues will come to you with jobs that have to do with arbitration, with auctioneering, with valuation, plant and machinery valuation. You can't be everything. So please, this is the time for you guys to be focused. Those of you in civil service, especially the ladies, I'm to tell you something. Your superiors want the job done. We don't care if you're a lady. If you need to go to site, go to site. The minute you start saying, oh, I'm this, I'm that, the guys will get all the glory. The people will wonder why your orgas are not working with you. Your boss wants the work done. So if you are a lady, you read estate management, you studied it in class, you and the guys are practically the same. No decent lecturer will treat you people differently. Okay, the evaluation exam, they don't have a paper for ladies or another paper for guys. So the same thing comes to work. When it comes to work, the assignment I'm giving a young male surveyor, I can give it to a female surveyor. And you people should embrace it. Okay, that way, when it comes to giving recommendation, when I'm signing your upper form, you're giving you my KPIs on your distance, I would be very, very professional about the scores I will give you.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so very much, sir, for that. Please let me appreciate as a surveyor, Anthony. Yes. So I need to say this. I know there's a misconception about, we're not having other fora for... Yes, a lot of times we've lost out our friends in the financial sector, people in the civil service, people working in Nigerian Port Authority, for instance. So I'm referring to my brother that mentioned that. So yes, as young estate surveyors and valuers, we'll work around that. And I believe some branches are also working, to ensure that we integrate those members, into the system. But I want to encourage, please, let's always be, let's be active, regarding institution activities. And I would also say finally that we have faculties. How many of us belong to one faculty or the other? Housing faculty. Okay, very few hands now. So we have faculties, and I want to encourage young estate surveyors and valuers to please be part, join a faculty. All right, electoral committee, the chairman, I would like to call on the electoral committee chairman. While he's coming, I'll give the microphone to our second vice president to just give us a last remark. Yes.
On everything?
Just to wrap it up.
Thank you very much once more. I think we've had a very wonderful moment. We have discussed with ourselves, and I do hope that we begin to build on some of these issues that were brought up one after the other. But everything centered on building your capacity. You must build your capacity. Do you understand?
All right, by the way, our message of Yambalo Ayodeji or Deleye.
Our second vice president, council members here present, noble colleagues, we both of us, I am YESV Chief Obioro Sakwe, and with me is YESV Olukunle Adeniyi, representing the electoral committee, a committee of 5 persons. So, the other people are engaged. I just want to apprise us of I just want to apprise us of what we're going to do this evening. And it is a constitutional exercise in that the constitution of the institution provides that at this fora that we are involved here now, that election of officers would take place. And I guess this is the first time it's ever happening. And so, having said that, I just wish to, we have actually sent out the guidelines before now. And I'm sure quite all of us here, or quite a good number of us, have actually gone through it or seen and what's contained in it. But I just have to refresh our minds of what is expected of us for us to be able to, conduct an exercise that is free, fair, and transparent. The vice chairman, the secretary, and the treasurer. And of course, for you to be eligible to vote or to be voted for, you must be a financial member of the institution as at 31st December 2023. And then the second arm of it all is that you must have been registered with the Young Estate Surveyors and Valuers Forum. So these are the condition precedent for anybody to vote or to be voted for. Again, our processes for will have people nominated at the floor of the AGM. And of course, we have tried to develop a strategy or process of, reaching at this. And the process is that all the people who are interested in contesting any of these 4 positions, you quickly meet us there and then collect our nomination form. And the nomination form is just very simple to fill, in that you just put your name and the few things that are required there, and of course get your sponsor and co-sponsors to fill, and then you return the forms back to us. The other arm of it all is that for you to be eligible to vote and to be voted for, we have put in place a process of accreditation before the election. And the essence is that we want to make sure that you meet this constitutional requirement that is condition precedent for you to take part in this exercise. And so that is it. The election is going to take place immediately. So we have just finished with the women wing, and the exercise is going concurrently. So what we would advise now is that immediately you are done with the program here that you are having, program of lectures and discussion, please, or if you have the time, you just quickly, for those who are not too involved, without disturbing the program, quickly just meet us there for your accreditation. And that process will be undergoing, while by the time we are done with it, then we now go into the voting proper. So thank you very much. And again, let me use this opportunity to be able to show you how the voting is going to be done. We're going to issue for the eligible voters. We're going to, after accreditation, we'll issue this, this is the ballot paper. And this ballot paper contains 4 sheets. One for the chairman, the other for the vice chairman, the other for the stamped, all the positions are stamped for the respective ballot papers. So all you are required to do is that by the time we have announced, because we're going to announce the people who qualified to vote after they have completed our nomination form, we will come here and announce generally. Then when you want to vote, you just write out legibly the name of the person you want to vote for. And at the end of the day, you have completed your exercise. The rest is ours to be able to count and declare the outcome of your voting. Thank you very much. If there's any question, Just 1 or 2 minutes. Let me take it now because I may not have the opportunity again of discussing. Thank you very much. Thank you, our leader, for the good job you're doing.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So if the positions are unopposed, what will be
Don't worry, we'll handle that. Most of my people vote.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. So we are done, and for young estate surveyors and valuers, especially those that are interested in vying for positions, please step towards the electoral committee. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll rise and do the second stanza of the national anthem once again to close the meeting. Thank you so much. Yes, the election will hold. You are not leaving, no. Young estate surveyors and valuers. We'll cast our vote. Please, we will need to wait to cast our votes. We are closing so that the next set of people, that are meant to use this platform will go ahead to do what they need to do. All right. So on the count of 2. On the count of 2, 1, 2. Oh, God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow and live in just and truth. Great lofty height attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. So please, let's move to the left side of the hall for us to conduct our elections. Thank you so very much.